Hello, I'm Simon Sharma and I'm delighted to recognise 90 years of World Jewish Relief's important and extraordinary history. Founded to save Jewish lives from Nazi-occupied Europe, World Jewish Relief is still actively saving and transforming lives all around the world. When Hitler began to persecute Germany's Jews, visionary British Jewish leaders established the Central British Fund to raise huge sums and persuade government to allow 65,000 Jews to come to the UK. Most of us have heard of the Kindertransport, but you may not know that it was World Jewish Relief who instigated this remarkable rescue of 10,000 mainly Jewish children and brought them to safety. In 1938, Harry Heber and his sister Ruth, then aged 7 and 10, were living in Innsbruck, Austria.
After Kristallnacht, there was panic, everybody trying to get out.
Their parents managed to send them on a Kindertransport train to England. When children like Harry and Ruth arrived in the UK, they were placed with host families, and World Jewish Relief provided medical, financial, language, educational and employment support, helping them to integrate successfully into British life.
I have thought all through my life that without them I would not be alive today.
In the aftermath of the Holocaust, World Jewish Relief supported Jews stranded in Europe's displacement camps and flew 732 orphan child survivors, who became affectionately known as the Boys, to Britain. Over the next 40 years, World Jewish Relief continued to support persecuted Jewish communities across the world. Often working under the radar and in hostile environments, they provided medical aid, food, and evacuations, bringing many to safety in the UK, actively responding amidst conflict and repression. Natural disasters, revolutions, invasions, persecution and famine that threaten Jewish lives. In the 1990s, as civil war erupted in the former Yugoslavia, World Jewish Relief flew 500 Jews to safety in Belgrade and 142 families to Britain.
I was very keen to get my son to safety. He was 2 years old at the time. The support started at the airport when we arrived. And I think World Jewish Relief knew what we would need better than we did, actually. It was like having a loving family here.
The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the collapse of the Soviet Union sent shockwaves throughout Eastern Europe. 2 million Jews were left with next to nothing. World Jewish Relief, in partnership with the JDC, began to rebuild Jewish life, establishing community centres and providing vulnerable people with home repairs, welfare and companionship. And for a younger generation of Jews facing acute hardship, they offered mentoring and training to enable them to become self-sufficient. In 2008, His Majesty King Charles, then Prince of Wales, opened the Jewish Community Centre in Krakow, funded by World Jewish Relief, before becoming their patron in 2015.
And World Jewish Relief launched really its first international emergency appeal, overwhelmed by the kindness and generosity of Jews that wanted to see a Jewish response to a global disaster affecting those beyond the Jewish community.
And World Jewish Relief continued to respond to crises worldwide through its unique network of expert local partners. As millions fled Syria, World Jewish Relief's communal appeal helped 17,000 refugees. And here in the UK, they launched their specialist training and employment program, which now helps more than 1,000 refugees every year to learn English, find work, and establish independent lives.
It started before dawn. Ukraine woke to explosions around the capital, Kiev.
In immediate response to Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, World Jewish Relief provided critical humanitarian aid to 180,000 people within and beyond the Jewish community.
Life changed just in 1 second. You go to sleep in the evening and you wake up in a different reality.
As millions of Ukrainians fled the country, the UK government appointed World Jewish Relief as a recognised partner for its Homes for Ukraine scheme. Sabina, who fled Ukraine in March 2022, now works for World Jewish Relief, helping to match Ukrainian families with hosts in the UK.
We had a client who messaged me telling that we are bombed and I will message you later if I will survive.
The world has always presented challenges, but World Jewish Relief will continue to be there for vulnerable and marginalized communities suffering from crisis, conflict and disaster. From 1933 to 2023, the same Jewish imperative has inspired generations of UK Jews to bring support where there is hostility, relief where there is pain, and hope where there is despair.